Keshe Foundation Ghana, in association with Ghana Atomic Commission and Ghana Spaceship Institute, would like to invite you to attend the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference, October 17th through 19th, 2016, in Ghana. Keshe Foundation Ghana's mandate is to build awareness and promote research into plasma technology. The Foundation is presently working with governmental institutions and other interest groups in Ghana to fulfill this goal. At the conference, you will be afforded the opportunity to learn about and experience plasma technology firsthand. The cost of admission to the conference includes 3-night stay in one of Ghana's prestigious hotels. Hotel packages include a single, double, or twin room option, and an option for an apartment or suite. Breakfast, tea, and coffee breaks and a buffet lunch on the days of the conference are also included. Keshe Foundation Ghana is focused on utilizing plasma technology to solve numerous problems facing the African nation. Come to the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference in Ghana. Learn about plasma technology and learn how you can participate in spreading the word about it. Together, we can bring freedom to Africa and humanity. And we hope to see you there. The Keshe Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and specialty to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, veterinarians, as well as registered alternative healthcare practitioners. Scientists of the Keshe Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the 140th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Once again, we're gathered here. It's October 6, 2016, and we'll be listening to Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation to deliver today's information from the world of plasma. Mr. Cash, are you available there now?
Morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these teachings. Following what is there about the weekly medical teaching, we have a couple of announcements to make that it might bring some light into the way the technology development is going.
Mr. Cash, we need to get a little more volume on the microphone, I think, if that's
How
possible.
fast? Do you want me to
Whoa,
hand carry it,
we don't have to eat it.
or you want it just to be hanging down my nose? It'll be easier. Is it any better?
It seems low somehow, like it's not connected or something. It's different than it has been.
Um,
Um, Try it again.
is it better? Any better?
What do
Is
you
it
think?
better this way?
Well, that's way better. Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. As I said, following what you've just shown regarding teaching of the doctors and medical application of the technology, um, the Cash Foundation has been granted by government for a full clinical trial for injection of the plasma for cancer cases. We have received the full authorization and permission to produce and run clinical trials. We have already come to an agreement with one of the major universities that they will monitor the production and they will do the first stage clinical trials as of next week or so. The application was submitted this morning to university and it was pre-accepted. It's just a formality. And all the materials, both for human and animal tests, has been authorized to be produced and got to be tested. In the coming weeks, the authorities and the university structure, they think in the way they've seen the work of the technology and its application, they need not more than 2 to 3 weeks for results from the mouse and the human trials they're testing in the university because they already have some background data on it. So now we have come into international medical application and full license for the clinical trials. The application, this kind of application usually takes a long time, but it has been granted by the government due to the tests which we done previously and they had full data. So in the next few weeks, as we go further, the what we call the injections will be in public domain, the results, and we go to the next step, which is the availability of the material worldwide. This should not take long because the nature of the product takes a lot of restrictions with the present medicine. It's a natural product and is part of our structure. We have seen the work of it, so we don't expect any delay. Some people tell us they need FDA approval and they need European health authorities. Total population between US and European community is just about 700 million. There is 7.1 billion and they suffer from cancer and there is no regulation on those. And the governments who accept to these clinical trials have the capability to internationally apply it. So we are working, if the FDA or the European health authorities have any further requests, the data will be supplied when it's internationally used. This is a huge step for us in a way that we are entering international arena in a very powerful way, in a way that the governments now are becoming to realize the technology has its own merits and is working on its own basis. You have to realize we have already done numerous trials, numerous tests in clinicals. We have done toxicity tests, which shows total negativity. We have done what they call any residual within the body which could be affected by the injection, and all is negative. So we see, and they see no reason for rapid release of the technology internationally. On the other hand, the application of the technology will take a new dimension. As I said, we enter space plasma technology and not what we call the matter state. There is a point I have to address. This is very crucial. I would like you to listen very carefully. In the past months, we have seen a large number of entry on what I call the Keshe Foundation, on me personally, facts about the Keshe Foundation, put in by Mr. Dirk Lorentzens. I've been told, I've received numerous communications, why don't you stop this? Why do you let so much to go out? You have to understand, I was the instigator of this. I explained to you the way it has worked. Dirk, from the beginning of our time, when we start collaboration in writing the books and the patterns, always said, Mehran, I'm here to protect you at any cost. I am your guardian angel. I'm here to make sure nothing happens to you, and everything we do has a result, a good result. It'll come to fruition. We did the patterns together, writing it, very first time, then the collaboration to do the books. In that process, you get to know who you're working with. Dirk is dedicated to work. Dirk is respectfully works the way it is, but he has his own clinches. You got to know how to trigger him, that he comes to his best. And in the friendship, in the workshop, in developing a communal understanding that this technology has to belong to world population, you understand how he is. You understand what it triggers him. And I just need to trigger, and he completely does everything. He has done the most beautiful job in protecting the foundation in past year and a half. Because I realize his potential in that way, and he has fully supported this development. The reason I don't go and shut down and put all sorts of claims, but I know how to trigger him to bring more in or write whatever he likes, is because he's doing what he promised. He's protecting the foundation. It was very hard for me to gather all the people, the opposition and the enemies of the foundation in one place to know who they are, how they are operating. Dirk did that for us, as he promised. He protected us. He went out making all sorts of websites, and with that brought all the Keshe Foundation enemies together, and those who were doubtful, they just needed an excuse to walk away. He has done that to the perfection. In the email I received from him about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he, in his way trying to answer to a lawyer, he opened my eyes in how he's working and how he is looking at an inside. And it was very interesting. He has spent a long time with us. I saw how this works with him when he went to China. I knew if I triggered, in our last meeting here in China, in Italy, I triggered it without him knowing because I know the character. He's respectful. He writes things, and when he writes, he gets so committed that he writes anything, and he does anything at any way, bringing anything in false lies, reality, whatever together to get a structure. This is his pattern. This is the way he was born, and he was brought up in Africa. And when he came to Europe, he is a guy who does not see other things except when he targets on it. And my target was, if I can get him to concentrate on bringing the enemies together, it gives the foundation the free time to be able to flourish, to do what is done in the past year and a half. The way I saw how it works is when he took a trip to China and he brought in that trip the reality of who we were dealing in China with. Without him knowing, he opened a Pandora box, which I was only one who had an insight to. And the rest of it was for me to trigger. Leave him alone to do the job he does best. He's brought literally all the enemies of the foundation, all the doubters in one point. We used it to track these people down, to know who they are, and he knew what he's doing. There is one thing he did which to a lot of people around the foundation looked wrong. But in fact, this was what we agreed together years ago. The agreement was that my books, my technology has to be free to everyone. I wanted to release the books later on, but he went and released it on the internet. This was our wish. The way we released the patents free, the knowledge of the books had to be free. But now, what is done, in fact, has increased the sale of the books. People read it on the internet, now they want to have a hard copy. This is how we've seen is developed. Many times, I said in my teaching, I bless his soul because he knew what he's doing, he knows what he's doing, and the way he delivers it, it gives such a sincerity that everybody attaches themselves to it, and he gets so deeply involved that he gets too much in and the others come in and he open up who are the terrorists around us, who are the misconductors, who are the people who came for benefit, as he wrote in his beautiful email to me a couple of weeks ago when he was answering to a lawyer, is the greed of the money. People see a lot of money, they come around. This was a letter which was written in response to the damages which falsely accused, we were accused of by Sir. And this opened my eyes into how this guy was working with for us, around us, for some times. And we put out that he's stolen 263,000, whatever, 5,000 from the Knights of Malta and a lot of other criminal activities are lies, that he's got a very successful business, but he's actually had over 5 years, 750 hits on his website. It's a failure, glorified a lot of lies. And now we are sitting and we are working with the Knights of Malta for everything which is done on all the accusation, filling in false application, which is a criminal offense, and the rest of it. But it was Dirk who brought it to me in his writing. I thank you, Dirk, for what you've done. Carry on with what you're doing. This is not a way to stop you. This is a way to encourage you to do more if you want to do, because while I was teaching, it was like before. While I was writing, you are putting the books together. This is the way we work. This is the way you've seen over past year and a half. I poke him. It's very easy for me to poke him because I know how to poke this guy. We have written many things together. We've done many works together. So I know him by his second nature. When he came out of the hospital with a stroke, and when he was in the hospital with a stroke, I went and picked him up from the sickbed in the hospital, stole him from the hospital for 2 hours, and I took him to General Motor factory that we could see together, that whatever we were going to do was the same. We could understand. So you've seen me poking because I knew this is the only way we can get the rot up. So now we know most of the people who are working, they came and they saw and they created problem through the websites which he set up. He was one of the greatest help for the arrest of Alan. Now he's in prison for life. He's been one of the best links for us and international securities for a lot of activities which are going illegally around, and they just zoomed on him. So he was the honeypot for a lot of people, but in fact, it's very much as one of the security officers told me, you know, FBI sets shops, pawn shops, buying stolen goods, and then he knows who are the thieves are, and then they know where to go and how they arrest people. This is what Dirk has done, and this was his promise. I protect you and the foundation, and he's done. He allowed us in this time to have the freedom, while those who were working behind trying to support him, we saw how they were working, collaborating with the police of Belgium. We watched them monitor their communication. Those who came from France, those who came from Northern Holland, those who came, we watched the whole operation. Because if we would have told him what we are doing, he wouldn't have done what he's done. And in so many ways, he's kept to his ethos, protecting the foundation by bringing out all the, what I call the rubbish, and them being busy finding the place to put the rubbish in, they didn't know it was part of the work. Being in my position as a head of the foundation with millions of supporters and now our full-time, part-time staff, when I look at it, and the people who sit in the support background, sits around 300-400. We have a core team of about 36, 37, but the rest is a huge number of operations across the world. You need to know who does what and what they're good at and leave it to them to do it. That's what I said all the time in my business life. If I could do it, I would do it. Now you understand why I don't oppose for shutting down, or going and trying to shut whatever he put out. A lot of lies has been said. This is the way he can bring people in and touches some people. But in that process, us monitoring, it brought the people, the doubters, the criminals, the people who could use the sites was set up by him to do it. I know how, as I said, to trigger him. I respect you, Dirk. You've done a lot for the foundation. And I hope in the future, in one way or another, needs to be done, we do more. Book number 4 is written, but is not finished. There are 18 books in different languages needs to be completed to go public. Chinese have the same right as English, and I don't know anybody better than Dirk to put the book together. He knows all the terms. So, Dirk Lorentzens, thank you for what you've done. This is not to stop you writing all the rubbish you write. Some of them is sweet, but you write it with such enthusiasm that it fools anybody to be the truth. I read your email, I heard your voice, and it's the same as how I knew for past 10 years. We come to another point. We come to the point of extending the knowledge in the field of plasma. In so many ways, in so many acts, we have to realize how we extend the knowledge. I have got to the point that I cannot keep the different parts of the knowledge of the plasma technology away from each other. All the roads are leading to Rome. All the knowledge of the plasma technology is coming in. And they all come to understand it's very much like the center of the universe. The center of the universe radiates fields out, it creates galaxies, it creates stars, it creates planets, it creates being. And if you look inside the being, it's the reflection of the center of the universe. The process of the interaction of the plasma. The process of extension of the knowledge of the plasma technology. Let us look in a very deep way, because we have achieved energy production. You will see it in the coming days. We have, and we are going into the process of creation of physical space boundary, what we call the spaceship. In the coming days, you will see these as well. As you know, I don't keep my secret, but I keep everything together. The longest secret I've kept was the story with Dirk, because it had to be done, and it was done. The whole process, the whole structure, the whole setting up of a plasma is the same in every essence in one scale to another. You make as what I call a galaxy, you will see it. I make parallels and then I go down with teaching, because this is what you will understand the process is. If you look at the galaxy has a center, I draw half of it because it's easier to do. The radiation from it as a gravitational magnetic field radiation, not as a radiation as we call it, like X-ray and gamma ray, leads to a creation of tangibility of the universe. Change the center of this to the name of the sun, it leads to creation of the plasma of the solar system. Change the name of the center of the universe to the plasma of an electron or a proton. At a point of the boundary of the interaction of the balance fields, you see the tangibility. So if you understand this, this applies in reverse too, or in where you will stand in the center of the universe. Look at the structure of the head of a man. This is your head. This is your brain. And in the center of the brain, you have your soul. There is no difference. For man up to now, the biggest problem was how to and where is his soul? Somewhere exists. There is no difference in the realm of the creation. Body of the man, structure of the universe. You need a center which radiates fields out, and in that radiation, it creates at the point of the boundary the manifestation of the physicality and the body. Now, extend the knowledge in a deeper way. Extend the knowledge in a very, very deep way, and you understand a very simple case. You create the same center and allow it fields and give it a strength. You have your spaceship. You want to circle it, you have a spaceship there. But through tests and trials, it has been shown the half circle, what we call, you call it the UFO shape, is the most stable for change of the polarity of the reactor. You see the sun changes its polarity every 11.5 years, and it goes back every 23 years. We see Earth, due to its multiplicity of the materials, does the same thing every few million years. The only way you can stop the rotation, one of the only ways, is to move it to a position that the change does not come into operation. This we understood early on, one of the first reactors we built, that by half circling you achieve, it's okay, I'll bring it in, you can achieve the stability of the structure and the plasma in rotation. This is one of the very, very first reactors built in 2005, 2006. If you look at the new reactors we build, this is what we understand. If you work with a single core, this is what you have to have. If you work with a multiple core, you can go in a way putting brakes on rotation, which is the star formation. Secondly, when you go half, you have less magnetic field resistance push. So that's why we go for this structure. Controlling a single reactor is very difficult unless you are master in it. If you look at it, you have to understand the way the structure of the brain is. When you have field moving and you cannot split correct it, you can build things with it if you want to split it. But if you keep it split, you can control the whole side of it. Our brain, the structure of the brain, gives us a lot of intelligence in respect to how to build reactors. Now we are at the stage, in the coming days, you will see that we have managed, and we're going further, not only in creating half circle, but understanding how the field, magnetic field of the solar system or a planet or an atom creates its tangibility through only fields. Nobody puts a brickwork around the structure of the proton. That's the limit. It's the fields which dictate this. And this is what now we are achieving. In a very short time, in the coming days, you will see the structure of a field tangibility. Those of you and the people, there are 4 groups around the foundation which I'm working with very closely. Different one of them are achieving and feeling the field forces. They can see the interaction of the field forces. And what we see, you can walk in through the field and you can get a change or condition of the change in the field transfer. And you can literally see it. The group which has done this, they have put a fan. The minute they enter the barrier point or the field plasma interaction, the fan slows. And in cases, the fan goes more or less to a full stop, which means the interaction of their field releases the energy. And when they enter completely, the fan goes back again, the shield builds up. So we, in the very near future, will show you what you've been looking for. And I said by end of this year, 2016, we will show the UFO. Are you ready for it? If you want to see it and its work, I can ask for you to be called on. You see the initial video, because we work very openly. But this stage is already past. John, are you in the background? Or Armand?
Armin is.
Yes,
Pardon?
I am in the background.
You're in the background. Armand, John, can you show us the 5 combination set was tested 2 weeks ago in Arizona, please?
Let me find the video. I will.
Not the 6th one, the 5 one.
Okay.
Okay, thanks very much. So what you will see in this video is the beginning of the establishment of what we call field barrier. Why did you change this? When it's ready, we change it. I'm still writing. Giuseppe is too fast. So what you will see is very important before Armand shows the video. You see John walking into an environment. The interaction of his body with the first field, which the field in one way connected to a fan, will show the reduction in the speed of rotation of the fan, which means the body interacts. If anyone from anywhere enters this, we get the same result. So if you have, when you see the setup, mark the positions, this gives you, for the first time, the boundary of the spaceship. Soft fields. You see it, you feel it. But the next point is, you see John enters this gap in a different way. And he goes and he sits in the middle of the middle structure. and you see him sitting down. You see the change of posture, how the field gives the sense of comfort, the strength, and peace. Are you okay? Really? Doesn't look so very effective. So in that process, you see the first soft field interaction of human body with invisible part or the beginning of the structure of what you call the UFO. It's not that you're going to make it in one go. Us and you have to experience it. There are very few organizations who have access to what John has. He's the head of the Keshe Foundation, Arizona Manufacturing, and he has numerous numbers of platforms with different materials which are in the factory. And they are not just manufacturing, they have become part of the research of the Keshe Foundation organization too. So they are developing their ideas, they are developing their ways. What John said, we were speaking to him last night. He said, I took the idea this morning, about 3, 4 o'clock this morning. He says, I took the idea of making this set out of this design. All he's done in this design, this was made by Marco over a year and a half ago. He has replaced the balls of cans with maglev units. You will see it. And he's repeated the same. So what we thought has inspired him to test it with what he has, and now you see the results. We are in the process, but you see this system, it has to have a control. It has above and below it the star formation. Now that we can control and hold the minimum maximum field, we can place the star formation. Your system is pliable. So what you see, this is the whole structure. Arman, have you found it? Or are you still looking? Can you hear me? I think we're talking to ourselves.
No, we can hear.
We're here, Mr. Keshe, for this.
Yeah. Because you have to see this.
I am here, Mr. Keshe. I am looking for it. I think he didn't send it.
It is on my mobile phone. If you want, I'll send you the link through my mobile phone. If I can find it, after God knows how many texts. I'll try to find it because it's important for you to see. And then they have the first combination is 5 and 10. Then I asked, why not 6 and 12, which is correct. In the 6 and 12, which is the video available, you see the shutting down of the field is much stronger. You see the fan reduction in the speed. So in confining it, you find a stronger field interaction, which is the solidity of the body. This is important in so many ways that you have to understand step by step of the development. And what it does, I cannot find it, Arman. You have to find it. It's on the private YouTube channel. Download it. Don't show the private YouTube channel, please, Arman. Take it out, download it, and then let us have a look at it.
That's the problem, that I cannot find it because it's a private. So he has.
Yeah, but I have access to it. You have access to it.
I don't.
You don't. Okay, let me see. I have to find. Excuse me. We have to find this.
I sent him a message already, so might be he will pick it up and.
Okay, let me see if I can find it then, because it has to be shown that people understand the structure. What has happened is that the system has certain capabilities. Caroline, can you go through this? It's an email, it's a text. Arma says just to have a look at this. This comes from Arizona factory, somewhere further up than where it is now. So what has happened is that the structure goes through. Arman, do you have the 6 and 12 combination video?
That's what I'm looking for, Mr. Cash. He sent me the video, but it was the half of the video. You remember, we started the fan, it's not started. I have that one. But
if you go into if you go back into the chats, the messages you have sent me, that 5 is in that message, the link for it.
Yeah, let me look for it.
Look at the line of communication we communicate. There is a link in there from you to me about the 5. I don't have the 6. 6 is on the international channels. So what you see for the first time, can I have a look at it? Ahmed?
I have the photo. If
Caroline has found the video. Just wait, darling. No.
I can share the screen.
No, not this one. This is, you have to go further back. No. It's to do, that's from the, that is from, then go to on. Sorry about this, because it's important for you to see the effects. In so many ways, in going back on the structure of the control of holding the confinement. Why this is important, this design is important. The way when Marco made this, I said people will come to realize this is the fundamental structure of any spacecraft. Because the inner circle holds a constant gravity according to human body. The outer circle holds the physical dimension. It will not change. And then your above and below reactors create the positioning in respect to other structures plus your system. So the next step for the people who are developing this is to add the star formation in a specific formation, and the system will fly. It has the capability to lift even in this position, because you have to understand it still works as one thing. Even though it's flat, it's a copy of literally this. If you look at it, it's a copy of one of these plates. There is no difference. Gravitational sitting in the middle and magnetical sitting outside.
Mr. Cash, I think your mic has adjusted itself.
Pardon?
I said I think your mic has adjusted itself.
The microphone needs adjusting.
Yes, please.
Is it better now?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it disappeared under the tie.
Mr. Kessler, I have a photo. If you want, I can share it with you.
No, we want to see the emotion, the feeling, the core where it stops. When the fan stops, because they have to see it, and you feel it. The reason we are showing this is we want you to start developing with us, the way it's always been worked. We want you to join in the next step. Those of you who have a number of magravs, those of you who want to build a number of magravs, this will not work so effectively with a single tray. It doesn't work with single tray. It has to be a stacker unit. In a way, with a stacker unit, you have a dynamism here, the same as the ball. If you look in this structure, now you have achieved what we call a center point, and then you have the gravitational, and then you have your magnetical. There is no difference. But this is the dynamic plasma. This is the only way where you guarantee the life. Wow. Good morning. I didn't see these. That was a surprise. I've just seen something I'm going to show you later on. It just walked in. No, it's never been shown. It's in the private archives of the, what do you call it? The system. We have it somewhere. If we can't get it today, we'll show it to you next week. Then the process is as you see. You repeated the same thing. You repeat the same structure. You repeat the followers of the same system. Now we have given it dimension. By putting the Magrab system flat, we have dictated the bottom. This is already dictated. There is not much you can do with it. If you put this plane, you have 5 reactors here and 10 reactors there. And this has created the first, what I call, detectable field of the structure. Now what you need to do is to strengthen the field within the stackers, and the field will not even let you go through it. It will be as solid as this wall. You go in it, but you can't get in it. But the beauty of it is, when you go in it, now you're in a different shell. You enter Earth irrespective of the solar system. Now your condition is what is on Earth. You go to Saturn, your condition on what is in Saturn. Because now with that box, you are locked. Good morning. How are you? Giovanni just come in. So what you see is very simple. You see the beginning of the structure. You see the beginning of what we set up to do. At the moment, a platform has been made for this, ready for lift. It's the first time Keshe Foundation has made a platform in its structure. This is where it gives you the basis. If you remember, when we made the nanomaterial, we went to the matter state. When we went to what you call gas level, we used the nano state for the support of the gas. We are not doing any different here. We are using the nano state and what I call the matter state of the platform as a platform that we can use to stand on. In the future, when we graduate more, we understand how to place these reactors, that the platform will be made out of field forces, the same as what becomes the tangibility of the fields around the reactors. You can walk on it. You can do whatever you like on it. If you organize it in a certain way, you create portholes where you can go in and out in different sections. Nobody will carry double glazing or aluminum frames into a space as a door in between different cabins. So we are coming more and more closer into what we have said. And part of this development and teaching now transfers into the motions. All of those who applied for motions in the coming days will give you where you should be sometime in the next 2 weeks. And when you attend, these are the platforms you start working from. The space technology is taking a new shape. With it, you have everything you need if you understand how to interact with it, how your emotion will interact with the fields of it. You will find very rapidly you become part of it. You receive what you need, and as we see people who go in it, they feel it, they touch it, it touches their soul because it's at the strength of their soul too, and they change in so many ways. When we can get John, if he's awake, he's usually around, and he can show us this video, then you will see very strange effects in the emotion of the man. The minute he walks in, his posture changes. You see him to go in the center and kneels down. The second time, when he deals with the stronger fields, sitting is not there. He stands and he feels. They tell you, the others, that they feel the same. The process now is not a race for who's going to develop it, is we are all in it, we are all developing it together, and we all understand what we are doing. Those of you who sit from different governments in the background, you see we put the structure so slowly together that everybody understands, and does not matter if you're Chinese, if you're American, the space agency, if you're Russian, the space organization, it costs you less than a few $1,000s to make a spaceship. It's available to every nation, so it does not become abused. The simplicity of it is understanding the totality of the structure of the work of the universe. And now we start understanding. Waters run in the rivers for millions of years, till one man started understanding the power of the water, and we had all the mills and everything came with the industrial revolution of the water. Now this is the water of the fields of the universe, and now we're just tapping into it. It flows like a water. It has winds when it falls too far. It has potential difference when it falls from a higher level to a lower level. In magnetic gravitational field strength, it creates the same release of energy as you get in the dams. It has the same power as a nuclear essence. It has everything which, according to the time of our understanding and intelligence, we tapped into, and it's given us the energy. Now we tap into the knowledge of the universe, and this is where the difference is. We will collaborate with a space agency in a very soon, in a shorter than time we can imagine, to show the first flight system. In that level, we will work with government level. We move the collaboration of the Keshe Foundation in conjunction with the government. All the facilities are available and is open internationally for other governments to come into, to participate to the next development. Keshe Foundation is an international organization, so as one family, we are one nation, we are one council, and as we say, we are one race. So when we do, you will see the strangest thing is the development, the testing will be done live on Zoom, the way we teach now, the way we did. When we found the problems in Fukushima, our friend Yukaka went and did the test inside of Fukushima. She tested the nuclear materials inside the city of Fukushima and around it to show how the technology works. We did the test in 129 Tesla. We were live on the internet all the time. If you would have seen the comments, we could have taken a photo of it. They said, oh, look, it's gone 125. As one part of the world went to sleep, the others kept an eye. Now, when we start testing the first structure of Spaceship, it'll be live presentation. Mistakes, developments, failures, success, how you can comment as the scientists around the world what is to be done, what you think is to be done, will be taken into account. We will build this structure not only in Arizona, but in 2 or 3 other locations in governmental laboratories, because we got to the point we have no choice. Otherwise, one trying to find a secret, we lose a lot of our people in the process. As you know, it's very easy nowadays, they just kill you. This way, nobody can be killed. There are blueprints of everything that guarantees the safety of our people in Arizona. It guarantees the safety of our people in Italy. It guarantees the safety of the Keshe Foundation members across the world. So when we start these tests in national laboratories, national structure, you'll be with us, because we have got so close that we do not take anything out of what we've done up to now. We develop slowly, we share knowledge equally. Now we have together to build this spaceship together. The platform is international, and platform belongs to one nation only, and that's to the nation of this planet. We develop it, we request you, you are an electrical engineer, you are a nuclear physicist, you are a plasma physicist, you are a geologist, you are a cosmologist. Come in and join us in coming time and advise us. We listen and we will develop together. This is unprecedented, but this is the only way. When we share the knowledge, the benefit will share instantaneously amongst the others. I have to stop. I got to say something to Giovanni for a second. Sorry about this. There's something. Giovanni walked in late. I had to give him a piece of information because it's important for later on today. So we done the test of the Tesla in dynamic. Now we bring what we did as a test of Tesla with the maglev system. You want to hear it? I have a sound engineer here. I have a makeup artist here. They tell me I'm moving too much. My hair is out. My microphone is too near to my nose. We listen to everything. So what you understand here is we have to. Arman John, show the picture. We can show the video that people can see it. Share the picture with us, please. And then when we get the hold of the video, we can show the video. Can we share the screen?
Yes. 1 minute. Here, Mr. Kesh, 1 minute.
We don't see it yet. We are still waiting.
Yes, 1 minute.
Oh my God, you're a 7-month-born child. You do everything so fast.
Maybe it's a nighttime, that's what.
Or is it too early?
No. This is the platform.
Yeah, we have to have the picture. We don't see it. You haven't shared it yet, Arman.
I cannot share. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not allowing me to share.
What do you mean?
Host have to allow me to share.
Vince.
Yeah,
Rick.
I've got it. I didn't know it was set, so it's unset now.
Okay, 1
Bring
minute.
it back set again that nobody can jump in with anything.
Okay.
Please share. This is the setup. This is the 12-star setup.
Yes,
Yeah, this is a 12 one. Yeah.
the last one.
If you move it a little bit higher, the picture, is it possible that we can see the total? No, don't show your back screen. We don't want to see your programs.
Yeah, no, it's a this
Yeah.
size.
You see the same combination. This is the latest one. We saw this morning with Armor. The other one with a 5, this is the same. The effect on this is more powerful than before. There is a fan here on the bottom side. Arman, you better explain because you were there when the test was done.
Yes, I have one more picture with the newest setup if you like to show.
Please share it.
Okay. Here.
This is the platform. Getting ready for what we expect. We need this platform to learn, create the powers that is created. Can you go back on the previous picture, Armenia? What it is, you have a maggraph system, which is set 6, and then it feeds into gravitational magnetical system. And when you walk in, let's say from here, which is easier, somewhere at this point, the fan stops. There is a fan. The end of this link here is connected to a fan. So when you cross, you share the field, you see the fan reducing in the speed. And this shows presentation of a field because you don't do anything else. You just walk into empty space. But the charges transfer affects the speed of the rotation of a motor, which is magnetically based, and a current flow. So the next step is energizing the 18 bases on the platform, which is getting set. You have to understand the 18 reactors you've seen on the platform are slightly different internally than these. There had to be a modification. The Keshe Foundation team in Arizona, in the past couple of days, has been building them, modifying them the way we think should be. And in the coming time, what we will see, it'll be this. In fact, what you will see, it's a dome between the reactors. It's not directly inside. It starts somewhere around here, externally to internal. Then internally here, you have another dome. The comfortable zone, because as the staff in Arizona are walking in the corridors, is in this side. Am I correct, Arman?
Yes.
So we are setting the structure. The first basis, when we showed the unit, which Marco took about a month to build, now we see it in a different dimension. The power in these balls was so high that they just literally blew themselves up. The wires start burning. Now we have a different structure. You have to understand how this works. What is happening because of those of you who will start testing what is happening, these things will start, oh, gotta go back. Okay. These things will start building fields. You have to leave them till the field, like 129, we started with 1.1, it went to 0.2, it went to 1 Tesla, it went to 5 Tesla. We waited overnight to go to another 1 Tesla up to 6. So the fields build up on both sides of the reactors. You have to understand, they are in the center, they exert the internal force, these exert the external force, the push and the balance will create the tangible physicality of their structure. This is what you need, you have no choice. This is what you need to guarantee a planetary condition. You dictate the condition. Those of you who work in the Chinese laboratories, I know you're heading for it, you're already started planning to do it. What is this one? I can't understand. Just ignore these things. They find any question they like. What happens? The magnetical gravitational fields in the background and the one in the center will influence and dictate the platform. Armajan, can you go back to the other picture with the platform, please?
Okay, 1 minute.
The problem why we moved, or we asked the thing to be moved, is these walls are interfering with production of the fields. Now, with the free platform in the center, we have much more freedom.
Here, Mr. Fisher.
Okay, thank you, Armand. It hasn't come up yet?
It's there. I'm sharing it.
Just wait, somebody most probably need to do something with this. Yeah, okay. What you will see on this platform is that they will put, I can't get it. It doesn't allow me. Maybe you can do it with the, in here, no, lower, yeah. Yeah. What is going to happen is they will be placed here and the others will be placed here. And in their term and condition, you will see what we call a zone. This zone has a physical the same below. But here, the magnetic gravitational field of the Earth will push this zone to be back up, will create the lift of the platform. It'll be very little, because now you have an interaction of the inertia and gravitational magnetic field from the systems. At this moment of time, even though you have the platform, even though you have the magnetic systems, you're still matter-GANs connected. So it's a combination of inertia and gravity. For those of you who haven't been long around, gravity is an attribute of the plasmatic magnetic gravitational field of the state of matter. Gravity, the way we call it, maggrav, is the attributes of the free plasma. But a composite structure like Earth has matter and the field from the center. So our gravity, what we call our gravity and atmosphere, is a composite. Here we'll have the same, because in the center of these units is copper, it's still matter state. So the field of the Earth will interact. So the next step is, what can we do? We built it, it's there, it'll levitate. It might go higher than levitation, depends how you adjust the current flow. Within the structures, you can lift yourself up and down, but you don't go very far. Because the totality has to be, the positioning has to be, there is a specific way to set this system up. I was explaining to John earlier on today in our communications with Armin. You cannot just put it there and do it. There's a specific way that you have to build this, to organize this, that it creates what is needed. This is the secret. This is the backbone of every development. So the next step for you is understanding where you're going to position your star formation. We know the scientists from different space agencies are lying. Try it. You'll understand the position of it. There is a specific way to structure it that the whole platform will fly. When it's inertia, you will see the rise of the platform. When you can dictate it in a specific way, then we'll cover the whole board. I estimate the height of this can be as much as 3 to 5 meters. The shape does not go flat like this. It will be mainly like this, because the field force from the gravitational field from here will flatten the push of the platform. When you go into the open space, it will be like this. You come down to about 1.5 to 2 meters, maybe 2.5 meters. The whole understanding is now, there it is. That's the fan I was talking about. That fan, when it's connected in the other room to the circle, you see it coming to near halt in fan configuration, and you hear it reducing the speed. So what you have, what you see, is the step development of the whole process. Now, the next step in development touches everything. If you understand this, you already have seen this. If you've been in the agriculture with Keshe Foundation, you already seen the creation of this system, where you put the seeds down, or you use aqua, what they call systems, and you thought you're feeding only the potatoes and you put the GANs on the top, but in fact, you're changing the environment of the surrounding. This is what I explained in agricultural teaching yesterday. When you use a gas of CO2 on the land, you create a new dimension, what we call a greenhouse. A greenhouse without the material on it. You don't need any more plastic, you don't need any more glass greenhouses. Because if you understood the work of the GANs, the work of the coils and the stackers. It's all with the GANs which is used. It's the GANs which is particle plasma, and in the spacing itself, it creates its dome. This you saw the first time in China. When the Chinese, in the Chinese teaching of the Keshe Foundation, when you go to the very first times they came, they showed their agriculture, they showed the side where the Chinese leaves were grown in the winter and they were as good as new, and the side which was watered with the water, they all frost killed. Nobody understood that time. Now you understand. This is the dome which comes into operation. It's the field plasma which has become the distribution of the field. This is important because if you look in the growth of the agriculture, especially in Northern Europe, billions are spent on greenhouses and heating them. The heating cost of agriculture is enormous. When you put a GANs in the environment, you change the environment. You don't just change the physicality of where it is. Tests are done by other Keshe foundations. Alex can tell you. Is Alex online from Nigeria?
Yes.
Alex, can you promote Alex, please?
Please promote it.
Pardon? Just a moment. Alex, if he's not in the bush, he'll be there to talk to us. He usually spends all his time in the bush. Pardon? Alex, are you there?
He had
Yes.
trouble with his audio before.
You're really in the bush. Okay, Alex, I want to talk. You can correct it with writing because we can't hear you clearly. Good morning, Alex, but we can't hear you. It's very good. You got to fix your internet. It's not strong enough. I can hear you, but we can't hear you properly. It is very bad. Okay, Alex, I explained, then we can give a link, they can go and read it. Can I have my... They've done a test with Alex, and in this test, they have put GANSs and maglev unit connections in a house. The temperature of the house is constant, doesn't matter what happens outside. They measured it. People in the house don't feel the cold. They achieve a constant temperature in the house. So one of the ways of keeping a constant normal temperature around 25, 25, 28 degrees is put maglev system, put GAN system in the bottom floor and the top floor of the house and around the house. You'll find out the temperature stays constant. The same thing as when you spread the GANs. A number of people have reported this in past few days because Alex has done it, they all jumped on it, they're taking buckets of GANs in different places in the house, or they are putting different maglevs on different floors, on the roof, on the ceiling, in the basement, and they're feeling the comfortable temperature. That confirms, in a way, that the GANs creates its environment. There it goes, your electricity bill for winter. You like 25, 26 degree comfortable, put some GANs or maglev systems up and down around the house and test it and report it back to us. This is what they tell us they're doing. Oh yes, they're leaving the windows and doors open because it's too hot. So, you understand? with this technology, make a few bottles, make a few magravs, and give it to a building where all the old people live, and don't let a single old man or a woman to die of a cold because he can't pay the electricity bill. That's how easy it is, because you will understand it very soon. This is what the process of agriculture is coming in. As I said, everything is converging in agriculture. We see in the medicine. We see the energy. We can show a test which is getting done. Nothing to do with the generation power, but the multiplication of power from different side of the development of the Keshe Foundation group. So it is absolutely essential that we work across this planet as one nation, share it as rapidly as possible the way you are doing it, that we change the course of the government our way, then they're changing the course of our lives with the bombs and bullets and nuclear warheads. It's very easy. Make it, try it, give it, and you'll receive more to give, and you will understand the whole process. There are few people, few organizations who can set up this kind of setting. A couple of the Keshe Foundations in China. The Keshe Foundation labs, about 6, 7 of them, a couple of them can do this. You have to realize the Keshe Foundations in China have been given the autonomous right to sell products not for commercial use, but to sell that they can support their research and their work, and are good at it. They're becoming good at it. Some of them doing it very well. And we saw the ones who were there for different reasons have already left, like Sanjan, and because they couldn't milk it, they become victims of their own misconduct. When Chinese security services tapped their voice, then we knew where they sit. There was not much room. Now they become victims, where they actually were the terrorists of the foundation in organizing things with the others. The Keshe Foundation around the world, Chinese government, development, Boeing, NASA, Russian Space Agency, the Iranian Space Agency, they're all working towards this. Every program is fully watched, analyzed. A lot of you don't understand. You hear some words or techniques, but they have the elites of the nation in every field sitting, analyzing what was said, how it can be utilized. This is the beauty with this. This is how it's going to change a lot of things. So there is a very interesting point with this. As I explained in the health teachings, if you manage, and as we saw with, if you can get it from John, you see this is the Keshe Foundation factory. This is all the magravine in these boxes. If you make the system and you make it thick enough, or in a way, or between the gap between this circle and this circle, where you feel comfortable to walk, as you enter, with a disease, and now you sit between two magrav walls. Now you sit or drink different gases. When you can dictate the composition, which is the next step after the solid magravs, into the gas structure of these systems, the same, which becomes the balls you have on the table, which Marco made. Then you make the environment at the balance point. You walk in with a cancer, stay there for a short while, where every cell of the body of the man balances according to his DNA, his original RNA, collapse the field, walk out, no diseases. This is not a dream. This is the reality. This is what, in the next few weeks, medical section of the Keshe Foundation will deliver. Barriers, sections, where we control the magnetic field. Can I have a whiteboard, please? Where now, you remember the old story, Beam Me Up, Scotty? We all remember, we watched it. Arman John, you got to stop sharing.
Mr. Kesh.
Can you get it? Yeah, but it's there. How do we get it? We can't get rid of this. Hello.
I am not sure.
Okay, that's good. Thanks, Armanga. So, what are you going to get? You saw the 12 and 6 combination made the field you could walk in. Now, what about if you put 4? Where you can stand in between. But be careful, please do not try this under no circumstances, because we don't know where you're going to beam you up to. What you understand is the plasma unit. If you can make it 4 base, 4 top, you're a Scotty ready to be beamed up. You make the strength of your system dynamic or static. You use the gases of the balance field of the body of the man, the amino acid and the rest of it. You walk in with a cancer, you walk out with no cancer. And if you go back onto the left side, if you can understand and further push the limit of the strength of the plasma in the structure, I will tell you what's going to happen to you. Where would you like to be beamed to? We are on the verge of transportation by the simple pictures we have shown. These will all come into process in the next few weeks. Because when we work with governmental structure, we have different access to different structures, and we can run everything simultaneously. I made you one promise, and that is everything will be live. We don't allow superiority in knowledge to become another tool of abuse for human race. It's your foundation. You have to make sure you do it the right way. You've done all your childish groveling and fighting, being who, whatever, it's over. You can have everything you want. I'll teach you step by step to the next step. This is how it should be. So when you have the systems, you understand how to do it. I have to tell you, is a specific way to do this. When we done it, you can all watch it. We bring in man with a cancer, we hold him for a short while, we walk him out. Armanjan, your microphone is open. We walk out and no cancer. Less than 5 seconds, total standing 3 minutes. We are entering, as I said last week and the week before, changing the course of humanity. I don't do it. I show you. Now the systems are coming in. We know how to make more powerful systems. We know how to make the generator systems. We know how to make the lift systems. It depends on how you want to serve the humanity. The game has changed. And as has been said, the change will change. The world will change for man in October 2016. And we are just at the beginning of it. Today is one of the worst nightmares of humanity, 6th of October. If you are not that old enough, this day became the beginning of further atrocities of today. Yom Kippur War, 6-day war in Sinai Desert, gave the false power of strength to the nation of Israel, and the problem has not stopped since. Go back on the history. 6th of October, known as Yom Kippur Day. We will not allow these things to happen, because now when we share the knowledge, there is no young and there are no Kippurs. Everything is finished with. The Palestinians have the same knowledge as the Jews, the same as the Christians, the same as the Chinese and the rest. The man who was behind it was buried last Friday. Thanks God. The biggest terrorist who was a mastermind behind this, and all the atrocities have never stopped. Shimon Peres was buried, and with it a lot of atrocities and the murders he carried out. And it's our job to make sure this does not happen again. It is important. It is very important to understand the share of the knowledge has to be equal. We see the Africans share it, we share it here, you share it from China. Philippine guys can't keep their mouths shut. They're so fast putting things out. Then we have the others. So now you've done the GANs, you need the coils, you make the cores, and now you have come to bringing all your knowledge taught in past 3 years and all the books which you downloaded freely, thanks to Dirk, to gather enough knowledge that the Africans have the same right as the Americans. The process is simple. Everything we say, everything you see here is in the patterns which was given to the governments and to you years ago. Deciphering it created doubts. Now I am deciphering it little by little, that everybody understands there is no race above the other. You have the base, you have the top. You have to understand the structure of this balls and wires, how they are wired. Marco spent a lifetime making this, and he's made such a beautiful system. If you could make a blueprint of this, you have everything which is on the board. Marco, if you're listening, you remember how you done it, make a blueprint of it and post it. Maybe we have to open the top layer and put the camera from the top on, that you can see it. The structure is very, very immaculate, it's very correct, it's adjustable. You can lift one platform, you can change one platform. You can concentrate the fields inside. You can extend the fields outside. It's very, very elaborate. It is taking the boy a long time to do it, but he's done such a gorgeous job. It's the way he used to do things. Perfection. Pardon? Yes, send this to Rick. We give you a close-up, then we put it on the screen, then I can explain it. If you are developing this in any of the laboratories in anywhere, understand the process, because there's no use doing it and then later on finding out you need more of or changing something. Rick, Caroline is sending you a link, a picture. If you can put that on the screen, share it with us. We go in more detail with it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a close-up of the plate, which is there, made by Marco. In so many ways, we have come to a point that everything we did start making sense. Everything we did has a meaning. Now, the total knowledge of 2 years of teaching is coming together. Yeah. Send that to him as well. So, what you see is the structure that is coming together. The nano coating, the gases are needed for the balls, the nano coating material needed for connection, the structure of the shape of the spheres and half spheres, a collection of the knowledge of 20 years of research sits here in this room. If you take the camera along, one by one, if you share the camera, I can show you what it is. This is how we got here in the knowledge. This is, some of you being here, you've seen this. This is the very first reactor built. Made, actually, you want me to go further? You cannot turn the camera? Pardon? You have to be able to turn on your axis. Loosen the bottom. You loosen this is what you need to loosen here. I think so. Now you can move up and down. And this way, yeah, okay. So this is this reactor, and there is a black one somewhere else, are the first reactors built, half circle. This is again done with the help of one of the friends of Dirk Lorentz's. Then it came in the next step of development. This is half circle, we could understand it. It came the development of building a half and a full steel reactors, done with the help of Olivier, another what I call team of the original team of Keshe Foundation. Then with it, it came the production of the Iranian government. The same thing, a full and a half. This is the original system from Tehran, thanks to the Iranian government. Then it came a full dynamic 3 cores. In this system, you see there are 3 motors, 3 cores rotating internally, developing more knowledge. Then these all were used in gaseous, except there is a reactor somewhere here in our archives that, pardon? Stop interrupting. That in it, I tested the first gas system. The power of the gas at that time became so clear to me that I didn't need the gas. I shelved it because now we had enough knowledge to step out. The power is so much that it actually bent a stainless steel core. I realized, I'm trying to find it for you. If you hold it there, if you can find it, it's here. This is the first reactor built. As you see, this is done at the same time as with these reactors because it's of the same. We built 3 sizes. And with this, actually, this came before with that. We injected all sorts of liquid in it to use it. And you see the pressure has bent the steel. This is the pressure of gas. We could not get this pressure with a gaseous plant. Then we went understanding this when the pressure came that we could not use radioactive material because this was filled with radioactive material, which is only alpha source from the smoke detectors. It became dynamic. I could see the field forces. Then what we did with this, we developed the next stage, understanding the power of the GANs, we start developing the single cores. Now that we could not use radioactive materials. According to the restrictions, we became terrorists. And then we start seeing slowly the development of what you call a star formation. But if you look at it, there is no difference between this and this. Gaseous planets are always big because gas works in different dimensions. In these, we only applied gas. When we became to liquid plasma, like a sun, we became more powerful. This one is the unit which Armand made, and this is the original unit which we achieved 129 Tesla with 12 volts. And said it's impossible, but the only voltage we use was to run the motors. It had nothing to do with the structure. We start seeing the power of the gas internally and how it became to develop next after next step. Then it was a condition to understand, to show the physical structure of the interaction of the plasmatic field. This brought us to coils. And we developed the next step of the coils. Because with this, we had security of fields control. We could dictate how we want the fields, where we want the fields, the way we want the fields. In this process has taken me nearly 50 years. And in less than 50 months, more or less, we have transferred the whole knowledge into mankind. So it's for you to go to the next step. It's for you, the only way human race will go to the next step is if the mankind accepts now that we have all the knowledge, we become peaceful. We have food, we can have medicine, we can have whatever we like. So the condition is forced, and we are there. We are at 11:55 before 12 o'clock to get mankind into universal community. The next 5 minutes is very crucial. Is make or break how, as a race, we share knowledge to overcome the shortcomings of the others, or we extend and we wait till the others destroy whatever is ours. I have made this very, very clear yesterday and in other teachings. This has to go in there, Giovanni. This is from that collection. has to go in the body. I'm going to show you something to understand how painful things are. This is the base. Some of you have seen it. This is the base of what was on top of it. Literally this. We took into Tehran, and it's the first base which flew. But I got so excited, such a thing instantly taking off, that I sat on it, I forced it to hold it, and I managed to crack it. 6 o'clock at night, I called the office of the President Ahmadinejad. I said, I've blown it, but it flies. I want a good one. You have to understand, when Olivia and I went to produce these cores, from the time we designed it till we got it manufactured till we got it core, took us about 18 months. For Armand and others and the rest of us to manufacture take weeks. Thanks to the Office of the Iranian President, I received fully tested, fully made reactors with the motors on my desk. I asked for it on a Monday night. 7 days later, on the table, tested. The commitment of the nation is to the peace. The rest of it we have developed together, and that's what is gelling us. This is what gels the Keshe Foundation supporters, black, white, Chinese, Indians, whatever color and name you want to put on it, we all have chipped in. Africans brought part of the medicine. Chinese brought part of other development. With the Americans, we've seen the new structure. Europeans have participated in development of the different aspects of it, so it belongs to all of the Keshe Foundation family. Nobody can claim anything that I've done it is mine. I am the sharer of the knowledge. You are the developer of the knowledge. None of you ever came building these pieces on your own in past 2,000 years. Now that is shared the knowledge, instantaneously you develop it. We have two choices. Let us use the technology to share, and this will be done. Or let us play the game as it's done, who's right, who's wrong, and let those who want to abuse to bring this planet to a smithereens. And we are getting to that point. So today's teaching brings the whole mankind, the whole operation, those who helped with the books, those who helped with the translation, those who made the cores, those who came out with how to use the ganses for food, how we use it for medicine, doctors across the planet, agriculturists from Australia coming out to show how the water can be used. We have brought it together. It's one family, it's one nation. We share without borders, and this has put fear on the back of those who control the knowledge and control humanity. We still have to feed, we still have to go to work, we still have to see that there is a clothes on our back and a food on the table for our family. To change billions of years of work, and especially the misconduct of past 6,000, 10,000 years, will not happen with a fling, because then another fling bring it back to worse or back to what it was. We have to, as totality, understand the change, the application of the change, the joys of what it brings, and no fear of what we leave behind. None of you would have had any ability to make any of these things if somebody wouldn't develop the oil and the plastic, somebody wouldn't develop the way to refine the copper, somebody wouldn't develop how to make the salt from the sea. So where we are as one nation, we are accumulating the totality of knowledge of man over thousands of years. We are the children of the planet. It is our responsibility. To have peace needs silence and contemplation. Rick, can you share the pictures that we can add to the knowledge?
The pictures from Caroline?
Yes, please.
Yep. Okay.
There is another one. Can you have the other one, please?
Okay.
You see, when you make, for those of you who will, start making the 12 pieces or the coils or these things, you see we have placed a ring to consider. In that ring is nano-coated, inside it is a GANS. It's a GANS of combination of what is we have, calcium, whatever. The same with the other one. So we have limited the field forces to human race. You see, these are the 12 and 6 balls. Each ball has the probability of the connection to the next one from north to south. It has, if you look, the line to feed into the maglev system to add to allow other forces. It has a coil ring, 2 of them you see, that you can increase or decrease the field forces from point of reference, that how many of these cores will come into operation, be it on the center ring or outer ring. You have possibility that you can connect the internal central line or magnitudinal line. You see these lines which has gone through. You have the possibility to join one magnetical directly to the gravitation. If you look at the structure, is, I have to clean it, but you can see it. Oh, it's getting worse. I cannot do. Can you press that one with your mouse arrow, please? You have to see something which is important here. No, I need this one. And I want to go to red. If you look, the structure is set all the time, the star formation. This is what I explained to John. How you set it up is important. The ethos of star formation has to be kept, because how you change this, you can turn your system, when you bring these systems into operation, you lift, you tilt, but the structure stays the same. When you go into plasmatic control, not the matter control, this is a matter nano-coated on top, transferring energy through the GANs. It's so powerful that they literally blow each other up till you can control it. We've seen this blowing up with other tests in different parts of the research and development in past few days, because the energy of the plasma is huge. In tests, in part of the research, is so much that we have no control over. We are dumping it into sea salt containers. We cannot control it. We are in the process, and we see generators of 100, possibility 200 kilowatts. Because at the moment, whatever they tried is blown up because the energy is huge. We've seen production of different systems. You have to understand the totality. Those scientists in the background from the governments who sit behind watching, calling, let's collaborate, because if we do it, we know more, you will have what we call a wipeout. If, now that we start sharing the technology so openly, if any government, any nation, any individual tries to take advantage in military or the other ways, don't forget, you're still haven't even entered the nursery of the science of the universe. And I'm a professor at it. Know how to wipe it out. So my call goes on those who understand. Instead of putting 40 million people in the basement out of the fear of nuclear attack by the others, I'm putting an army of 100 million on move, ready for a war. And those who are gimmicking earthquakes to start on the back of the false earthquake, the way they did with 9/11 to start the wars, because they already ordered millions of guns to different factories to build. You stop or we deliver. And now, today I chose especially in this way, and the knowledge was done this way to make sure to understand we are and we can deliver in one shot. We is not me, we is you as Keshe Foundation. You got to remember, those orange balls are not even loaded yet. You see the platform of the framework, you see the same platform in Arizona. It's not that the knowledge hasn't been available. I made the knowledge so in front of you that you were blind to see it. And that was the best way to do. Understand when you set up your systems in maglev system, in cores, in coils, you have to have the ability of changing every single connection, not by wires, but through the fields. The mastery comes when you don't connect from one of these balls to the other, but you create a condition in the other balls that this ball only feeds this one. And you have a long way to go to learn this yet. You put a sick person on the top of these tables, if you create a field, it's a chicken chamber. You put the egg in, you get the chicken out. It's an incubation of death of the disease which man has been afraid of. You need these. It's not just because you have it here, because in the space, when you absorb fields from the universe, locked to your cells, the viruses grow in your body in seconds. Planet Earth is too far to come for help. And secondly, get the FDA license. A lot of you believe in UFOs, a lot of you believe in aliens, and they are not in touch with us. They carry gravitational magnetic field forces that to you is a virus which can kill you in seconds. The way it has chosen is for the safety of the man, not for any other purpose. And secondly, those who don't carry that kind of thing, they see the violence, which doesn't fit into the structure of the universe. So in next few weeks, we will see new medical system, which is the combination of the totality of the knowledge you have gained. You see here, you have the coils, here you have the balls, here you have the GANs in all of them. Here you have the dynamism of the star formation, even there is another one underneath this. And all you need to do, shift this in here. Shift this one here. Shift that one here. Shift that one here. You have your flying machine. Are you ready to fly? Giovanni says, I take the helmet. The helmet of a space is very thick and invisible. Any questions? And please keep it to what is taught today. Any irrelevant question, we have no answer. If you are in the process to use the technology for peaceful application to change the course, we are here. You will understand in the next few weeks why I start changing teaching to a completion, and then you say, we should have known. Most of you who know me well, you know why I do this and the way I do things. The bigger plan, the bigger structure is world peace, and I know how to force it, and we are about to force it. But I need many of you to make as many of these things that I don't call upon help from you, but because you have a system, I lock into your system, you become part of the totality. We have literally infiltrated every country, every nation, every race with the Maghreb systems and the coils. And you were all happy to have a coil system, energy system. I was setting it up for a peace system. There is not a place on this planet which there is not a Maghreb system in it. So you have already walked into the trap. Let me explain to you. Give me a whiteboard. I'll explain something very interesting. I explained this a few days ago, and I'll explain this before for those of you who don't understand. To understand a little bit more, I tell you something. I still don't think there'll be another president. Obama will be the next president of the United States for a third term. I'll explain to you why I think. I hope it doesn't happen, but when it happens, it's how did he know? He planned it. The same he says it's going to be an earthquake. They say, because he wished this happen. If my wish is so strong that it creates an earthquake, my wish is to change the man to a peaceful man. Let's see if we can do it. Planet Earth. On different parts of this planet, we have seen pyramids built about the same time. The pyramids are masquerade. They are just a facade. Inside all these pyramids, there is a structural gravitational magnetic field point where, in fact, if you come from any structure, you don't come and build a new one every year. Every time you come, it's been built, it's been operating, they're on the sea, above the sea, and They connect the whole planet. Any visitor from space, which you call them aliens, they don't need your food. These pyramids, in their structure, transmit fields across the planet. Anywhere on this planet, you pick up. Now you understand how come you got pyramids everywhere at the same time, built about the same time. It's built by the instruction, by help of us, for the human race, to elevate the man, but they've used it, but the structure is still there. And strange enough, none of them has gone flat because the field strength inside is holding the structure. Now you know why the pyramids of Egypt don't collapse. So what the man does, he looks at the structure. When you go from space, you get all the fields you need and you're aware of what's happening across the planet. This is what you will do when you have the knowledge in the space. The mesh, the roads, the positions, all been mapped and done throughout the universe. These are what they are. You can demolish the pyramid, but because the field is being established, it will stay there. But their structure still does the work. Why do I tell you this? And now you understand why you have pyramids everywhere at the same time. I have to scratch my head to tell you how I tell you. My friends, the pyramids are your maglev system. And you have made thousands of it, and Keshe Foundation has sold thousands of it. You were after energy, we were after the spreading the system of the peace across the planet. Your greed made you blind, and it gave us the tool to deliver what we wanted. You remember when Ali sat on the bunch of cores, and when you see John walking and sitting in the middle of it, I have infested you with the knowledge of a space, and you were so greedy that you made it to get the free energy. Now you have cores, you made maglev systems. And what does it carry? You forgot? Go back 2 seconds ago, an hour ago, the picture before. You remember the maglev systems, how the guy walked in and had the field? Your maglev system is where we want the fields to be. You're radiating field without you seeing. You remember that dog whistle that you blow the whistle but nobody hears it but the dog? It's the same. You know there is a whistle, when you blow it, nobody hears it except the dog, and the dog goes, "Arr!" The maglev systems are the dogs. All we need to do is to whistle and they tune in. The trap you set and you could not understand was the copper. Why we use copper in all of them? Because in the structure of physicality of the man, copper is a line of communication. In transmitting to maglev system, we reach every man. Now, if I change it, you will cry. Because in that process, part of animosity, hate, and everything else is part of your structure. It's for the man to change it and then ingrain it in the soul of the man. That will not be done. Now you see, I'm a very wise teacher. When I get to do it, you can't blame no one because you've done it. It's you who build the maglev systems. It's you who took it from Africa to South America to North America to Europe to Asia and everywhere else. If 12 maglev system You could walk in and see that it changes. Maybe there is a reason why John is not there to show it to you, because you have to trust your instinct that is correct till you see it, and then you say yes. I have already planted the planet with all of you. Your greed was the easy way to deliver what I wanted to do. As I always say, I've given you everything to give you a comfortable life, and I am the Messiah. It's for you to translate the knowledge, to be able to change the condition, to be able to travel in depth of the space as a peaceful creatures. In next few weeks, we'll show more and more power. We'll connect Africa to Asia. We did this, if you remember, 4 years ago in the Sensano. We put reactors in Germany, in Canada, and in the Sensano. It was our wish to stop the reactor number 2, which is this one. We collaborated, and it was Dr. Elio Kostova, Arman, Vince, Marco, and others. Because we wanted it, within seconds, reactor 2 was stopped. Now, if my wish is to start the whole reactor, I can do the same. So, you tell me how you want to start your coils. But there's a small problem which I haven't told you, because I'll tell you before I go any further. You remember you put the GANs on the floor and the plants achieved the dome? My friends, you have a very bad problem. I don't need the physicality of the core, because a lot of you have, unfortunately or fortunately for me, tons of this stuff in your house. I don't need to reach the MAGRAPH system. I don't need to reach the stacker unit. You have more powerful receivers in your house. You have put it under your seat in the car, under your pillow for your pain. You have made it, you drink it. So you understand how bad the situation is. I have receivers in every room on this planet. In the rivers, in the fountains, everywhere. So you don't see it. It's like you need that ultraviolet to see the germs on the plate. I have the ultraviolet and you have all the germs. So my bad news is getting worse. You're still
Mr.
looking
Kesh?
for a control? Yes?
Sorry, there's a related question to what you have just mentioned.
Stop. Not yet. Wait.
Okay.
You're looking for a remote control. How I'm controlling it? Go back into teaching. You see, today I cleaned up a lot of what we call schmuck. You remember you made a core and you had the hollow center, and you remember the brain of the man and the soul. I carry the soul of the universe, and the soul of the man is very easy to teach. So I have the control system with me without you knowing. So what would I like to wish? As I said in the conference 9/10, we said the 9th is the end of the past, and on 10th of September 2016 was 1. We said is the beginning of the change. And on that day, we heard about the peace treaty between Russia and the United States. The vision of the council was to establish a world government. A couple of weeks later, we see the United Nations, the religious side, Vatican confirmed the need for the establishment of one nation by 2030. So we control everything, even though you think you are doing it. So we have two choices. We take our time. We waited 6,000 years. We can wait another 6 days or 60 days. But sooner or later, everything has to come together. You have made everything. If you can't get hold of building elaborate maglev systems like this, you can walk into a Chinese shop, buy yourself 24 balls, ping pong balls. You still have the same. If you go a step further, put your, sorry about this, Marco, he spent a lot of time making these. If you want to go a step further, you have these star formation in the motor, put your balls on the motor too. Voila. You can go further. Any of you who made Ganses, who understood the ethos of the foundation, what you're making has to be the peaceful process, can make a flying machine, can make a feeding machine, can make voice system. How much are the ping pong balls nowadays? Few cents. You need 18 motors, ping pong ball motors, cooling system of the machine, let's say about €4. Altogether, you have 24 and 18 is 22 motors, about $150. You can build everything you need. Would you like to pay 1 million for one bedroom flat? Or would you like to take that plate and sit amongst in desert and enjoy it, come out, have a nice beach, and then go somewhere else tomorrow? It's the cheapest machine you could ever buy. It's the cheapest machine you could ever feed yourself with. It's the cheapest machine you could ever help care yourself. But it needs time. It needs time for you to understand. It needs time to extend. A lot said. First week of October 2016 will be the change of humanity. And we have started. Doesn't cost billions to wear a monkey suit to go to space. African nations will be in space like the Chinese and the rest. If we can find John, if we could wake his soul up to wake up his physicality and come and show us, you'll be shocked at how easily the fields exist. But we still make things. And we can see things. Armin, can you call John on his private number and wake him up? It's worth it to wake him up.
Mr. Cash, I called him twice. His soul is deep in sleep.
Deep in sleep. He was talking to us 4 hours ago.
I know. I am surprised he is not in the teachings. He said he will be.
You came to surprise, you got surprised.
Yep.
I'll try to, but the link I have goes to a private channel set up.
We can't access it. That's the problem.
I can access it because I have it, but it's somewhere, it's on my email or it's on my iPhone. Maybe there is a reason. Let them think they trusted us up to now. They can trust us till next week, or they build it next week and we see a bunch of people showing everything around the world. You and I have done a lot of these things, huh?
Yes.
We have fathered the knowledge in so many different ways.
Slowly but surely.
It took a long time. In 2-3 months' time, it's 3 years I know this man. I met him in a hotel, a short man, looking like Al Capone. Says, I am Ahmed Golan. I come all the way from the state of St.
Oh,
Louis.
Mr. Cash.
Good morning, Al. It's taken a long time to get here, but at last we got here. That's the main thing. Car punchers, being poisoned to be killed, blown up cars, joys of seeing the others and nations. And now we are getting to the fruit of the technology. You got to understand, and from now on, whatever you do around the work with plasma, understand one thing. In which position in the system you are, or what will give you each condition. Then you can manipulate anything you like. I said very recently to somebody, the best thing happened to the Keshe Foundation to become open internationally, we couldn't do in Belgium, was when the King of Belgium came to see me in a cafe and said, leave my country or give me the knowledge. I said, I leave your country, give the knowledge to humanity. He lost his kingship, we got the kingship of the world. So it was worth it. Today, September 2016, 12 years later that they trapped us in to take their technology. Now the technology is free for all of you. But please understand, if you do not follow the procedures of the universal condition in sharing knowledge and for the peaceful application of whatever you make, this is literally a serpent. And the serpent of it is itself because the field has a tail to bite. When you make the intentions to damage, you take that in it is taken from you and you find out you lose what you didn't want to lose. So very soon, men of governments, as other scientists will realize, the only pathway you can use the system is in an equal sharing. You got to realize somebody's phone is on, microphone is open. You got to realize we don't preach, we teach, and understanding what the problem is going to create. If you don't follow the teaching, you need a lot of preachers to tell you what you did wrong, and then they control. If you start using the technology from the beginning the correct way, develop it the correct way, you need no prophets, you need no preachers, because you become your own teachers of correct conduct and development of the new technology. Any questions?
Mr. Kesh, related question to what you
Yeah,
mentioned.
excuse me, you have to introduce yourself. If you don't know your name, I'll introduce you. It's
Please.
Vivek from
Yes, sir.
Singapore, the
Yes, sir.
support team of the Keshe Foundation. If you write anything which you don't understand, this poor chap and John have to answer you. So they have to know everything, what I think, what I do, which is wrong. They have to find out what's been wrong in every fact, every blueprint. And this gentleman is the voice of the problems answering. Go on, Vivek.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for everything you are doing from a remote place called Singapore for the rest of the humanity.
Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, the question is, can we use just GANs around the house to maintain the temperature, or do they have to be magrevs?
I can't get hold of Alex. He will tell you and the others. The others who have tested it, would you like to come online, raise your hand, and tell what you've done? Can you find it? I have it from Alex. I can read it from Alex. Alex writes exactly what has happened. It's very recent, it's past few days. Oh, Benjamin, are you on the line? He is not. He sends a lot of messages. No, yes, no, I got to read it because I got it here. It's from Alex. It's very recent. Jackie, okay. You want to give it to me because I read it from your side? There we are. I found it. He writes, "Hi, Mr. Cash. I'm in a lot of trouble with my..." Oh, it doesn't matter. That's another one. He's in trouble with something else. I think you better read your side. Would you like to read it, Karan? Can I have it?
Yeah, can you have your mic?
Yeah, I'll read it. No problem. It says, he's hidden many of the techniques and whatever he's done.
No.
That part.
It comes here.
You can read.
Okay. I keep my message short. I only refer to one special subject. I often reflect on the fields and how to create a special arrangement of devices. We got so many hints from you during the teaching since October last year that I often thought about what would happen if we make one, or other parts of the coils in the reverse direction. So I made the fifth one of the plasma unit and did the winding of all the coils, means the coils which are outside the bottles and the coils which are inside the bottles. Exact the reverse way means the coiling. I did CW and
clockwise
and
anti-clockwise.
I did clockwise after assembling it. My wife said that it has, although a strong field, we placed another one aside this, and my wife put her hands in between. She felt a tickle and some from like a pulse. You always are telling us that we have to add our amino acid to the devices. I often thought about how to do this. So we made a GANs out of our cells. We put sperm cells from mucous, spit, blood.
This is not from Alex.
No, this is the guy who has the constant temperature in his house.
Okay, carry
on. So we made a GANs using caustic. Then we split the solution, washed one part only with, what is this? I can't
dust.
Dust. Water and made a GANs of CO2 box. The other part I washed with the water of CO2, the ganses, and I collected from the bottom, put them together. I have not clearly found out about the right way to making. But then I sprayed some of the ganses on the other coils of the first 3 units. Then I thought about the star formation, and some graphics showed me Yeah, it's
Just
very
go,
long.
go, go what it says
Go,
about
go,
the
go.
heating.
Okay.
The fourth one.
See, he even gives you the units where
Yeah,
they
we
are
can
and the
publish
size.
this. This is how you can make a heat, what do you call it, energy unit without anything in the house.
So yeah, for making sure that is not a personal feeling, we bought 5 thermometers. We are all showing at day and night time about 23 degrees. This evening, I put the reversed one in the garden for testing. If the temperature is getting lower outside, we should have had about 12 degrees. We opened the windows wide for 2 hours. The temperature only sunk 1 or 2 degrees inside the house. But my wife said, I will get it back on the loft. So I did. So a few minutes later, the temperature was again 23 again, 23 Celsius degrees again. Even it doesn't matter what we open, what we close. After 3 weeks, we still are here and we still have the same temperature steady.
So what we're going to do, we're going to send this. We're going to get a permission from
Yeah, I asked his
Klaus.
permission.
If he gives us a permission, we delete private parts of it and we let you develop it for yourself. This is a knowledge from another place. The whole structure is that we try to get this out in public as fast as possible because it costs very little. And if it helps you with a constant heating bill at home, in any shape or condition, you're quite welcome. Carry on, Vivek, please.
That was the question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's just by putting GaNs coils around the house. We make it as a blueprint. We send it to Renan. They, what do you call it? They put the interpretation to it. And I'm going to show you something very interesting while we're at it. Giovanni, I think you better come and do it. We said, and we showed you, now you see it for the first time. It's called the GaNs bath lotion, or you can have a cream for burns or anything else. Keshe Foundation, these are licensed C certification standard accepted across the Europe. They go for sale as of today. This is not, what do you call it, a trial. These are the products you're going to find on the, what do you call, on the shops across Europe in the coming time. You want me to move further in? So what you'll see is the GaNs lotion for men, for ladies, for bath, and everything else. So in so many ways, we create the condition, even when you take a bath, using the material, because it's proven, and now we have received further certification for digestion, that you can drink the GaNs water, and the whole test result has come in the past 24 hours to us. So we can bath yourself and at the same time change the condition of, for example, any kind of diseases, because it brings balance. If a liquid can bring a balance to your physicality, it shouldn't be hard to bring balance to your soul and your emotion too. You're happy with it? Yes. Any other question? Anything we put out of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing, we make sure has certification and test results, that we are fully covered. When you buy or you go to other whatever you buy or you do, it's at your own risk. If they sell you water or if they sell you milk as a GaNs material, is your problem. We are trying to bring what we deliver, even though we make mistakes too in the process, is what it should be at the time of the knowledge. Any questions? Silence.
There's a question from Francois about heating, home heating. He's asking what's the maximum distance from each other, the ping pong balls or the container with the CO2 or zinc GANs.
You try it.
Ah,
You
okay.
try it and you tell us.
And that'll answer probably his second question, which is what about if I fill my radiant heating floor system with water and CO2 zinc GANs and constantly circulate the fluid in the pipe all around the floor of the house? Would that
Good
work
morning.
better?
It's a very good idea. Let us know.
Okay.
I don't think you'll burn, but you won't freeze. I hope.
Yeah, it might work as a more efficient way to heat through that fluid.
Gas heating pipe system. When you have a dome, why do you need to put it in the pipe? As you've seen on Cash Foundation systems, we have put for sale. Can you bring the jug, please, Caroline? It's up for sale what we call the alkaline jug, which we are monitoring. Those of you who bought it and you receive it, just don't buy it as an item. Communicate back to us what it gives you. If you use it, we have received the certification. We have tested it that we are safe in marketing this product. The health test has been done on it. And what will be interesting, when you buy things from us or from the Cash Foundation, you feed back to us what it does. That if somebody comes with a certain problem, they can tell us. This is what we call alkalizer. It's what you drink a day, 2 liters of water. The water is very solid. The system is very solid, and it changes the acidity to constant alkaline, around about 8.5 to 9.5, which is perfect, even if you have any kind of diseases. There is a version of this which is coming out, is marketed at €750, which you connect to the water system of the house, which means whatever you drink, whatever you have, whatever you do is totally alkaline. You don't need to filter to buy to change it. It's constant. It'll work for hundreds of years. So that we've seen, if you go back to the reports from Paul and the others, the people who live on bath and literally do everything with the what we call alkaline water in the condition which it is, we see eradication of AIDS, cancer, and everything else. These units, we call them alkaline units, it's been marketed, it's available to be marketed at €750. Maybe we have to change it slightly depending on what at the moment will be further development, because we have to put a production line for it. Something around about 750, maybe €850. It'll be ready from next couple of weeks from the Cash Foundation website. These guarantees a constant alkaline, even in that's a crystal glass. This jar is pure crystal. Even the glass inside is pure glass crystal, because crystal has a different property when it comes to the gas in emitting and retaining. So that's another product. Today we're showing you 3 or 4 new products which are coming in. This comes out of the extension of the knowledge. But those of you who are in agriculture or medicine or environmental cleaning, get in touch with Cash Foundation. We'll announce furthermore, we have brought in a man highly well known in the business of water decontamination, and we have set up in the Cash Foundation a structure for cleaning up waters and land. And we've done a very interesting test. We'll explain it to you maybe in the next couple of weeks when we have the data from governmental laboratories that there has been a problem. The problem sits in all your houses, has caused a massive problem in the background for nations and others and the health of people. And the data or the information we have received in testing in past 7 days is how easily the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation can change it. So when we receive the data, we pass it on to you. You don't need to apply it for this because this is done in a specific condition for one of the major corporations on this planet. They have created a mayhem with it. Chinese are suffering with it heavily because of the contamination. And this will be a gift to humanity to clean up this mess. To move again. Everything I have to change goes down. He gets tired. It's too much voice going through it. We'll talk about it in a moment. Any other questions, or shall we call it a day?
Mr. Keshe, this is John here. The crystal bottle you got in that water container has CO2 or CO2 plus zinc?
We don't know. It's done by the factory. They've tested a different combination. There are different things in it.
It's what we spoke about last Tuesday, putting these into water tanks.
Yes, but it's in a different way because you have to keep a constant flow and constant what we call alkalineness. Don't forget, we are testing ourselves in different developments. So if I tell you something, you said this, that, this is what we are doing at the moment ourselves.
Yes, that's the advantage we have with the water tanks here then.
Any other question? What is the time, please?
Hello, Mr. Keshe. This is Klaus from Austria. K2
Pardon?
from Austria. We meet us Klaus from Austria. We meet us last Friday in Verona with Dr. Friller.
Oh, yes. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. It was a pleasurable time.
Thank you too.
I learned a lot.
Make the second series from the Ganzporter crystallization to reproduct the CO2 GANs, and we have good results. When you want, I can show the next picture.
I think we better get together on a private chat.
Okay.
And then explain. Let me explain to explain who we are talking about. This what we are looking at. You listened to this last week in the teaching, and we met last Thursday with class in north of Italy, and we discussed this, where we have had a problem in the standardizing what is what is a CO2, how do we know we created a CO2, how do we know we create zinc oxide. And the technology shown last week, it makes a lot of sense. We tried this with ice. By the time we make the standard for the ice melts. This is made with salt, and it can hopefully, as we just heard now, and it shows a lot of good results. We can standardize that when you do such a process and you see such a shape, it tells you if it's a copper, if it's zinc oxide, and everything else. Then we have to make a dictionary of these elements in understanding, because the problem is not that we receive an injection or we can put it in a processor and see what it is. We need a system to see what the answers are. We need to standardize. We are the leaders in this technology, and a system like just been discussed is what is needed, and we are looking into it. And if become we see the possibility of it, that it is there because it's a salt. We can literally, what we ask for, to put the knowledge on the computer, on the internet, then you can buy systems through what they develop, that you instantly, you can say what you're made and what is the possibility. If it's a calcium for the bone, or is it a calcium for the tooth, if it's a calcium from a bone of a man or from bone of a fish. This is a great improvement in standardizing it. And when we see the data is complete and it works the way we think it should do, then we market it as a tool for especially like manufacturers who want to produce a specific strength of GANs for a specific disease, because you are going very, very specific. You can choose the GANs of the liver, the kidneys, different blood produce different strength that agrees to different slightly shape or color of the kidney. We should be able to do this with this technology, and it's fantastic. As I said, when we are ready, the creator brings us gifts, and this is one of the gifts. If we can work with it or we understand it, we can standardize it. Thank you very much. Please speak to class. We come together in the next few days, and then we look at the test results, and then we share it as you shared with us last week. Furthermore,
Okay, thank you. Being close, Klaus.
thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meeting you.
Thank you, me too.
Any other question? When you have thought bad, it means nobody has a question because they never understood. When you teach good, they think they understood, so they ask more questions to understand more. So nobody has no question.
There's there's a question from Emilio in the Q&A, and this has also been reflected by a couple of other people in the live stream chat. The basic question is, will Mr. Kesh use the receivers that he mentioned to change the state of mind of the powers that be, to change the world as soon as possible and alleviate all creatures on this earth from all the unfair pain and suffering?
When they go out, when we lose their control, they become the same animals. I explained this in one of the teachings recently. It's the structure of the glands of this planet which creates this aggression. Are we going to change the man, or are we going to teach the man, even if he changes, you don't react? This is the problem. The problem is not changing the world leaders. You got to understand, these world leaders, you call them world leaders, are themselves nothing but a puppet. They are put there by the people who finance their work. They are the voice boxes of those industrialists. Because if the industrialist does not pay for the election, they never become a president. And those who sit with monarchies and call themselves kings, we shall see them gone very soon. Because when all the souls are equal, nobody can be king of the others. So, if we change, we've seen they will change back. We can change your mind from being aggressive, but we have to change what is known as the greed inside the man. Greed for, we give the food and everything. The next one is the greed for kingship. Being equal is one of the biggest problems for man, and has been one of the successful things for man. Being better, you develop technologies, you made bigger strives to change things to be a slightly different. But now saying that, okay, everything has done, we're all equal, is very hard for some people, especially those who think they achieved more than the others. But the only thing is, man should look down the line you achieved in your life cycle more. What about the other man you call a failure? His father achieved more, that's why you are where you are. This is the selfishness which has got to go, and then we'll see the change. I have a request from those who are in Japan. If you are part of the Keshe Foundation Japan and you work or live in Japanese structure, we need a number of you or a large number of Japanese who could have been or are infected from radiation from Fukushima. Contact Keshe Foundation. If you see the sign of cancer, if you think you digested radioactive material from Fukushima and you're still doing, if you have a land contamination, contact Keshe Foundation, the webmaster. There is a process happening in Japan which you all can help to change the position as it stands with contamination. We have got nothing to do with TEPCO, got nothing to do with the Japanese government. It's the Keshe Foundation International Worldwide, which soon will offer you a condition that you can help yourselves in a very, very drastic way and in a legal way. And we see this as to be the right of the Japanese to do this for themselves. If you live in a contaminated area of Fukushima and around there, we're looking for people, especially who've been touched by cancer due to high dosage, lung diseases, and any other thing. Thank you very much. If there are no other questions, we finish. It's nearly 12 o'clock.
Okay, we were going to have something from Paul from Toga, but I don't see him in the list of people right now, so I guess that's out. Maybe I could just share a picture before we leave here, which I'll show.
Let us see, please.
This is a picture of a plasma workshop that was given today. This is the introductory meeting, and there's about, I think, 18 people showed up. This is local to my area, and this is Whitney Fisher, and it's Carrie Ellis we see on the left here is delivering a slideshow with 300 pictures of GANs and different nanomaterials and setups and so on, and explaining about the technology. And I gave a little talk in front of the people here too, and just told them a little bit about the Keshe Foundation and the Keshe Foundation Canada and so on. And it was great. It was a wonderful presentation, and I think people they got the idea that there's something really special about this plasma technology, and there'll be a part 2 and part 3 where the people will actually experience making their own pain pads and pain pens and MagRav units on the 3rd day. So it's I think it's great because these people are getting not just a mechanical teaching about how to make something. It's actually is delivered in such a way that it triggers people's spiritual involvement as well as their mental and physical involvement in the process. So I think we emphasize the idea of peace, which comes along with the Keshe Foundation ethos and so on, and people really understand that and they appreciate that.
Um, the voice you hear, Rick's, he will carry on Wednesday mornings the way he does the weekly workshop, practical workshop. I teach mostly theory, but in the workshops of Rick on Wednesday mornings, it's mainly people how they make things and how they bring things and how they see things. Rick moves as a full-time every Wednesday morning after his workshops, or he wants to link up his workshops to part of the teaching, to carry on with the same thing. Hand on, very down to ground, very everything people make or develop in their basements or whatever come into that category. And so Rick goes back on what they call Wednesday teachings after his workshop in the private teachings, or he can invite people, whatever he decides to do with it, to show the practical side of the development, the latest or whatever he sees he can invite. So what he invites people to give talk or show what they're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Yes, that'll be interesting. We'll see what comes up in that.
It's a
venue.
very strange workshops with him. I've been to quite a few. You better hold on to your chairs and your hat.
You never know what's going to come up, that's for sure.
I think that's where it all began, though, isn't it, Mr. Kesh? From the plasma.
Exactly. That's how we started it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we are bringing the disease to humanity. Let's you lot suffer with it.
Well, it's
this
true.
This is how
in
we
a way.
started 140 weeks ago.
Yes, that's right. Well, actually, even more than that, when you include the private online, or sorry, the public teaching, we called it originally. There's 10 of those, and lots of other workshops in between, the health workshops and the Spanish and the Italian, all the different languages and so on, the Chinese workshops we did. So a lot of them, that's for sure.
But I think this week or next week, Farhad will come to announce with a video of the workshops around the world that putting the structure to it. Hopefully it'll be ready to go. Can you show on the internet other workshops coming up? People are putting their pictures, having different workshops around the world. They make ganses, they teach about it. They're running conferences about it.
Right, I'm not sure where that would be. There's I can show the flyer from this workshop, which is
yes, please. Caroline, can you send a picture from Farhad, the workshops in Holland and the other part of the world to Rick? Yeah. This is what you put out.
This is what Whitney Fisher and Carrie Ellis put out for their promotion for the event that they're putting on here now, and they have.
I think Carrie's traveling, isn't she? She's traveling around doing workshops all over the.
Right. They started in Florida and have worked their way or workshopped their way across the United States and into Canada, and delivering various workshops along the way, and traveling in their van as they go, and so on. So
you have those pictures to send. Just one at a time. It's okay. While he shows that. The teaching. Yeah. The people you're talking about, if I'm correct, they've been to North Dakota to see the Indian tribes gathering?
That's right, yes, at Standing Rock, I think it's called.
Are they available? Can we wake them up? They tell us what they've done.
I don't think they're online right now, but if they are...
Get them on the mobile phone and just wake them up. Bother them. It's a good bother.
Let me see, I don't know if I have their
I think if I'm
number.
correct, Caroline put the feeling out if the native Indians can receive the knowledge and the technology, and they went there to do it. They went teaching the tribes, giving them the Gans patch and the rest. And what do you call it? It's strange, but it's interesting how people take it, they see it, they use it, and they carry on giving it back. We've seen this in Italy. in Italy. Now, as we heard yesterday from our people on the ground, members of the civil defense are going to their house today to pick up some patches and things to give to the earthquake disaster people.
Mr. Cash, can you check your mic, please? It's very low.
I think it's getting tired. So it is important that we spread the knowledge and let the people see the effect of it. And we'll see how and the way this technology will build up to the next step. Caroline, have you sent the pictures to?
Let me see.
She's trying to send you some pictures of the teachings around the world. We get so many pictures from different organizations of Keshe Foundation in different parts of the world to share. They do workshops in Turkey. They do it in South America. They do it across different parts of Europe. And in teaching it how to do it, but the beauty of it is, in the next few weeks, you will start seeing international presentation of the Keshe Foundation in different sectors of the science. And it'll be very interesting to see how the new technology will change very rapidly. No knowledge has ever been spread, as I said before, the way this has done. Changing the whole history of man's science in 3 years is a big job. It's dedication of the work of a lot of people in the background. And thanks to all of you who are here, being here, or you have participated one way or another to spread the knowledge. It's not one man, it's one family, one nation, which is doing it for the betterment of all of us. Have you sent them? Rick, you should have more pictures on your...
Oh, yes, I see.
If you want to send them over, bring them over. These are different pictures we received.
Okay, let's do it differently.
There are the workshops in Holland and Germany. We've seen Togo making things and different people according to what they have available, producing what they can.
Okay, let's see here. I think it started.
That's Farhad.
I'm not sure which way I'm going here with these, but let me try going back a little bit. Okay, I think, yeah, there it starts here. That's Farhad on the left here.
They are doing workshops everywhere. And we announce now we bring a timetable where you can have, where we can go for a workshop and the materials. Maybe in next few days we put together the final assembly units for you to finish yourself as a kit, and you can buy pieces of it and put together yourself. There is a lot of teaching, a lot of development. Thank you very much.
Hello, it's Dominique from France, near Le Mans. I have some picture too, if you want.
Yes, please, share it with us.
Okay.
Could you allow to share, please?
Yeah, I'll stop the sharing.
Do you see my screen?
Coming up. Yes.
Okay.
We just have to get it. Let me just see here. Okay, now I got it.
Carry on, please.
Yes, do you see the screen?
Yes, yes, we do.
Yes.
It's the last weekend. we are not so many, but we made 4 MyGrav. That's fine because people find something very important on the way or on the life, on their life. They understand a lot of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. Shall we call it a day for today? We thought
Sure.
enough, I think.
Sure,
Today
thank
was
you.
a revolution in the science if you understood the evolution of it and what it will bring. In the next few weeks, we'll bring you in to develop the structure of the physicality of the spaceship together. You've seen the first leg of it, and hopefully by next week we'll show you much more powerful systems. And then we bring in the reality to the knowledge of the man. Thank you very much for today. And hopefully we see what we achieve next time.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Kesh. And that'll end the 140th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, October 6, 2016. As always, thank you everybody for attending, and thanks for showing your pictures and examples of your work and so on. And people can send to the Blueprint, People's Blueprint site and to the Testimonials site, and we can post those quite quickly now to get them up right away so other people can appreciate them. Okay, bye to everybody for today. Thank you very much.